Welcome to Tube Talk, where I'll be interviewing either virtually or in person content creators in the hope to learn more about the people that we subscribe to and we follow on YouTube. So my next virtual guest lives in Darwin. He's relatively new to YouTube, however he has just launched his own merch line. He rides a Harley Davidson and he knows how to catch plenty of the elusive Barramundi. Please meet Andy from Andy Total Carnage.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy.
Can you see me now?
Andy, welcome to Tube Talk. It's taken.
Can you see me now?
Clear as a bell, brother.
Are you sure?
100%. 100%. Welcome to Tube Talk.
Right.
Officially, after
You want me to turn some lights on, or you want to turn lights on or anything, or it's a bit dark here?
Mate, you're not going to put any disco lights on or anything, are you?
No, mate, no.
No, mate. That's this is awesome. And as authentic as we can get, using with technology occasionally not working for us.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
So lovely to officially meet you, albeit virtually. And
thank you very much, Paul. Great to meet you as well, mate.
And as I said, in our messages backwards and forwards, this is just purely an idea that I stumbled across a couple of years ago. I stumbled across your channel, and I use the word stumble, in the right mean. Stumbled across your channel probably 6 or 7 months ago. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Darwin, so one thing led to the other. Subscribed and very much enjoy your content.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. And I apologise for it being a little bit rough, but as you can see,
no,
I'm not real technical,
mate. So just a couple of random questions just to get the dialogue happening. So you're in Darwin as we speak. So how long have you lived in Darwin for?
Mate, about 25 years. I moved here from Queensland, Western Queensland.
So you're a local.
Mate, I'm not. 25 years if it makes you local, but yeah, I'm originally a Queenslander, so
okay. Well, no one will hold that against you.
No.
and mate, what drew you to Darwin? Why Darwin?
I know it was a challenge. I had a young family, and we just sold up in Queensland and came here. Never been here before in my life, so it just seemed like a good place to come. Yeah, and it was just a challenge. Yeah, so. And
last frontier.
Loved it. Yeah. And when we got here, I just loved it from the minute I got here, so.
And have I got this right? You live in Palmerston?
I live in Palmerston, mate. Yeah, I've lived here 25 years.
Mate, well, I've lived in Darwin twice, and I remember when Palmerston was in the boondocks, like it was the back of, like if someone lived in Palmerston, it was like take your cut lunch and a water bag to get out there. But now it's almost fully connected, hey?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, it's really good, mate. I really like it. It's when I first came here, it was exactly what you said. And I actually went around Australia in 2009. I was gone for 3.5 years. I worked my way around, and when I came back, the place had changed that much, So I've actually owned this house since 2004, so nearly 20 years, So
yeah.
Yeah, I love it, mate. So I'm very comfy here. This is
And what do you do for a crust? What do you do for?
Mate, I work on the wharf. Yeah, I work on a wharf. I'm a wharfie. I work for Lynx or Patrick's. I've got 10 years coming up in October, but I've spent, when I first came to Darwin, I wanted to do something different. Ex-dozer driver, bobcat operator, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
bit of concrete, and then when I came to Darwin, the first thing I did was jump back in a bobcat. So I said, I made this change. I want to do something different, So I drove around, and there was a shipping company here called Perkins Shipping, and it freighted all locally around the top end, So all the communities and places like that. So I saw that, and I walked in, and the rest is history. I was down there for about 11 years. So I went from there to around Australia for 3.5 years, and then when I came back, I got mates that I've worked with back in Perkins who all gone across to the main wharf. So I've just ended up there. So.
Oh wow! I've never actually met a wharfie. I mean, wharfies are quite famous for what do they say? They get very, very highly paid and they don't work too hard. But I think that's changed a lot, hasn't it?
Oh, mate, I'm the hardest worker you've ever seen. People always asking me what job do I do.
Hey,
we get a lot of time off, and I've been in the industry for a long time now. So I've got 10 years coming up in October. So I'm if people think that I don't work much now, you wait until I get out of that long service leave, mate. I'll be churning out them fishing trips. Don't you worry.
if you park at the front of BCF. Hey, so, and again, as I mentioned, I think I started following you probably 6 or 7 months ago, thereabouts. And when I very first come across your channel, I reached out to you, and we actually exchanged some Gumby jokes or some newbie jokes. Share with me your YouTube journey, because it's not dissimilar to mine as far as time. When did you start your YouTube journey?
Oh, mate, it would be. I think tomorrow's the 28th. Or today's the 28th. I think it was actually 2 years ago to the day.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago to the day. It's funny how, because I was never going to do YouTube. It was the furthest thing in mind of what you'd ever think, you know. So I actually, how I started was, I was down there because my lifestyle was much the same as what it is now, but now I just do a lot more of it because of the YouTube. So, and I guess I've evolved, but I was still doing the same things before I did YouTube. And last 2 years ago, December, I caught a big Barramundi, 1.15 metre down the South Alligator by myself, and I had a lot of trouble taking a photo. So I got home and cleaned the boat up, and then when I had a spare minute, I went into the camera shop, and I was looking for a camera that I could take a photo when I caught the fish, you know, by myself. So they showed me a lot of cameras, and I ended up with an action camera. So then it kind of just progressed on from there. It's a bit crazy, really, but and then I got family away. So actually, the first vlog I ever did was because I ride a Harley Davidson as well. So I took my drone that I'd never flown before, and I rode out to Litchfield. And it took me about, I think the vlog was about, I can't even remember, it was bloody 15 minutes long, and I think it took me about 2 days to edit it up. And I took the drone out to Litchfield for its maiden voyage, and I thought that would be a pretty good place to take it, but it'd be the worst place in the world. I should have took it down to the local football oval, you know. So
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, so and then I sent it to my mum, and at the time my daughter is now over in Western Australia in Newman, and with my grandkids. So it was a way for me to just show them what Grandy was up to, you know, and my mum, and I got brothers too that live down in Queensland that didn't know about the lifestyle that I lived here. So they were a little bit amazed in it, like, and that's sort of like that's what drove it. So, I never ever worried about subscribers or views or anything like that. I just did it, and it was kind of a way of storing my photos or my memorabilia was in the YouTube, you know. So
it's like an electronic photo album, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is, yeah. So and my daughter was massive in helping me because like when I was getting an editing program, she helped me because she's very computer savvy and stuff, you know. So about 100 phone calls a day to her, and yeah, so just slowly progressed on from there, I guess. So
so is it fair to say that? So is it fair to say catching that 1.15 metre barra inspired your journey? Is that your inspiration?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it started from. Yeah, that's where it started from, and I did a lot of different blogging. I read the Harley. I put a lot of the videos. I did a lot. I did Harley rides across the Cairns in Queensland and across the Carney-by, and that was a part of. I did the YouTube with the Harley thing, but they'd get a couple of hundred views, and then I'd go fishing, and they'd get heaps more views. You know, I'd go and camp in the boat. So I guess I just slowly evolved into. And I phase the Harley's parked out there at the moment, but now I'm just fishing. That's all I think about, you know, like thinking is fishing, you know. So, but when I was doing it, when I'd finished the wet season, I have a lot of trouble going from fishing to riding the Harley. But because then I'd get the Harley out and we'd go and do rides, Alice Springs, different places. And then once I got on the Harley, I was a free spirit on the Harley, you know. So, and then once the build-up started to come around again, I had a lot. It was a trouble for me to park the Harley up and get back in the boat, you know. So, but then leading up to this build-up, I just had to. I felt the need to go. So, which I get that when I go fishing, that takes care of that need, you know. So, and especially when I camp overnight and I do 3 or 4 nights in my boat, and so I was like a bear in a cage, and I thought I'll just get on my Harley and ride around Australia, and I watch a fellow called $1 Million Bogan, and I was going to just do what the $1 Million Bogan did. I was just going to ride, because he actually rode a Harley and he was going to ride it down to Give River Road, but he couldn't do it. So I thought I'll ride down to Give River Road with my Harley, but I ended up I went fishing instead, you know. So
So your fishing is clearly a release. I guess when I feel like I got to know you a bit better is when you recently put a clip up and you talked about a mongrel dog called the black dog, and you know you've clearly got deep connections to mental health and all the rest of it. And not that we want to probably dive too deep or go, you know, down too many rabbit warrens, but do you find that sort of camping on the boat and fishing definitely helps with the black dog staying away from it?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. Yeah. And getting way outside my comfort zone, you know. And most definitely, eh? And it's just the extreme things of that, yeah. So I've been touched by it before, you know, younger. So
mate, you're not Robinson Crusoe. Mate, you're not Robinson Crusoe. There's I think it's great that more people are more comfortable in sharing it. You know, and there's a thing called emotional intelligence. So if those that are around you are aware of people that have got the black dog floating around, you know, and it could be sitting on a leash or it could be out in the next paddock or it could be on your back, but at least if you're aware of people that are that way inclined, it's surprising. Mate, so going back to your fishing, so your favourite location, tell me about your favourite location to boat fish. You mentioned alligator. So you mentioned alligator.
Well, it'd be anywhere. I couldn't say exactly which is my favourite. If you asked me right now, it'd probably be Tommy Cut. But it's out the Arnhem Highway, and it's out on the way to Kakadu.
So we're not chasing GPS marks. So what's it called? Tommy Cut. Is there a boat ramp there?
Mate, that's where a lot of the blogs just recently get from. There's a little creek called Tommy Cut, and it's a coastal creek. You go, it's 7K west of Shady Camp, the mouth of Shady Camp. So it's 2 hours drive from Darwin. It's an hour from the Shady Camp boat round to the mouth of Shady Camp, and then it's probably another, if the weather's fine, it's another 15, 20 minutes up the Tommy Cut. So it's a small creek, and I tried to hide. It's got good fish in it. And I learned, I like the river, so I learned to catch fish there. So the last 5 vlogs or something were all from Tommy Cut, you know. So, but I got one coming out this weekend. It's from South Alligator. I went down there a week and a half ago. So I did an overnight trip down there. So I really like the South Alligator. I like the East Alligator. I couldn't say which system I like the most. It's they're all good systems, you know. So,
do you have a favourite place where you camp and fish?
I probably like I like Merle Campground out in Kakadu. It's close to the East Alligator. You can fish. It's good fishing can be had out there at East Alligator around July and places like that. So you can. It's only 2K. It's a really good campground. It's got flush toilets.
Okay.
Showers. It's got solar showers. It's got really big parking bays. It's got concrete chairs in the campground. It's got lots of trees, and it's about 2K from the boat ramp, you know. So that would probably be one of my favourites. Yeah. So and that's around July is a good time to fish that. But even saying that, we got a lot of rain now. I don't know if you can see outside. It's bloody cracking down.
The wet season, mate.
Yeah, wet season, mate. We got that monsoon low over the top of us. So yeah. So as the build up wears on, I'll venture out that way, most definitely. Yeah. So.
Do you do any land-based fishing, or is this all on the boat?
Well, I used to, but not anymore. Nah, not anymore. And I don't even like fishing too close to Darwin anymore. I like to get out, get them bigger barrows, the mouth of them creeks, So
Yeah. What do you say? It's a pretty simple strategy, and that is put as many lines as you can and go up and down as often as you can, mate.
Mate, it's just a numbers game, mate. It's just a numbers game.
So you clearly catch a lot of barramundi. Is that your favourite eating fish?
Oh no, not necessarily. Snap, like barras aren't that, like, they wouldn't be the top of the table fish. Like shreddies are probably a better eating fish, or golden snapper and things like that. But
even the big threadies.
But I don't mind eating it.
Even those real big threadfin?
Nah, smaller ones.
Okay, yeah.
70 centimeters around that one. No, the smaller ones. The bigger ones can be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, so you and I are both on our YouTube journey. You clearly a bit longer than me, but I thought we'd actually about the same. So you're a bit more mature in the YouTube journey. Do you have three favorite YouTubers or three favorite content creators you follow? Any three in no order, and why?
I watch a lot of. I don't really watch any TV. I watch just YouTube. If I'm not, I've got probably 50 favorite YouTubers that I watch.
50.
I got heaps, mate. But one fellow that I have watched all the time is I said him before, the $1 Million Bogan.
Yeah.
He rides a Harley, but he's overseas at the moment, and I always tend to gravitate towards him. There's a fellow down in Victoria, Chris Banham. I watch him a bit, but not all the time. But he's into the bush, and he doesn't talk. He doesn't use music, and
Chris Banham,
very entertaining. Yeah, Chris Banham. Yeah. So
okay. And a
but
third
there's
one?
Quite a fair few. I do different. Watch different ones. Sammy. Yeah, watch different fisher ones, mate, and I watch to try and get tips, and if I watch someone and it excites me what I see, so then I kind of like want to go and replicate it a little bit, So
it's a good learning journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because as I said, I was never ever going to do YouTube ever. I didn't just, I never thought about it. I guess one day I woke up and I had 150 subscribers, and then I thought, I could probably get to 300, So, and then once I got to 300, I thought, well, maybe I can get to 500. Once I got to 500, I thought, and then I realised that fishing and camping in the boat, the subscribers kept going up and the views kept going up. So I thought I'll just keep doing this. I guess once I got to 500, I thought then the goal to get to 1,000 became like a reality, So I know when I got to 1,000 subscribers and I got monetized, it was probably one of the biggest achievements I've ever achieved in my life, I reckon.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah,
that's
so great. I got pretty. Yeah.
Was that the episode where you got your 1,000 subscribers and you announced some dude picked up a fishing reel out of BCF? Was that the one where Sue was there? And
it was 2,000.
Was that 2,000?
Yeah, that was 2,000.
Sorry.
That was 2,000. No, that's all good. No, I did one for 1,000.
Oh,
I did it the week before. I got Oakstar. I got Sue. We did a cake.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and we had Pete Davis wrap the lure, give a couple of lures away, and we give away to Gary Childs, and he actually won one of the reels in the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. So.
Cool.
So it was just, I got pretty excited about it. So I really appreciate the viewers, and so.
And you can tell by your, and it's a word that I use a lot, right? So you can tell by your authentic manner that you do sincerely appreciate people, clicking on a Sunday, or your shorts are coming up more often now. And you can tell by your, even the way you actually reply to people's messages. You replied to me a few times, and I even got a love heart, which that's okay.
Hey, mate, I read every message, and
Yeah.
I read every message, and if I'm out fishing, and I try not to put a video up now while I'm gone, because I actually worry about it. And then even if I've been gone for 3 days and 3 nights, as soon as I get back, I can't. It takes me about 5 hours to get home on a 2-hour trip, because I pull up every time I get in, and then I'll pull up and I'll reply to 10 comments, you know. So I do worry about it. And I think the last time I went out, I actually changed the videos because I schedule them, you know. So if I get a few up, and I've actually changed their come on time to suit with when I know that I'm going to be back in phone range, you know. So, but yeah, I do, and I've got a lot of people. I've probably got a lot of people that I would class as friends, you know. So the friends I haven't met, and I get to know the familiar names and all that sort of thing, you know. So like Hoyt sending us. I was telling you before, Hoyt sent the.
Mate, tell us that funny story. But yeah,
can I show you?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Hoyt might get to see this, right? So Hoyt's been following me from day one.
Yep.
And he's from North Alabama in the United States.
Wow.
He comments on every video, right? It's like I know him, right? He sent me, he wants a shirt and he wants a cap, but he doesn't have internet banking. So I actually said to him, "Boy, you're like Jack Reacher," and he knew straight away. He reckons. Anyway, but that's another story. So, but Hoyt's parcels turned up just today.
Yep.
And in here he's got a shirt for Sue. He sent me this rig, and it's called the Alabama umbrella. So you put 3 lures on it, but you put 5 on it. But he's given me 3, and he said, "Carney, you've got to put 2 of yours on it." So we've got the umbrella, the Alabama umbrella. He sent myself. I should have this shirt on now. He sent myself a shirt. He's got me a letter.
You wrote your letter.
I've got a little bit of cash in here for the shirts. And he sent, and it got held up in customs in Melbourne or Sydney for a little bit, because he's a King Gardener. So he's got a jar of pickles, and he's got pickled quail eggs, which are absolutely beautiful. And we've got this pickled chilies that are absolutely hot, that blew my mouth out. I've had a couple and I actually love that. So on the next up and coming vlogs, Carney's gonna eat some of Hoyt's quail eggs if I don't eat them before. Yeah.
All from Alabama.
So cheers, Hoyt. If Hoyt gets to see this, but I've already emailed him and thanked him and sent the pictures of the box. So
cool.
So I can't wait
story.
to cheers, So
hey, you mentioned friends and you mentioned Oakstar. So how long have you known this Oakstar fella for?
Oakstar. The Oakstar. I've probably known Oakstar for maybe about 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I first met him. I first met him in the Palmerston gym. So you can obviously tell that he goes to the gym, but you can't tell that I go. But I do half an hour 3 times a week. But that's where I first met Oaks. Yeah. So
mate, you're in great nick for 21.
Mate, can I tell you about my beard?
No.
I've never had a beard before, right? So I was doing the YouTube, right? And I got some growth, and I've been out the East Alligator and that, and I started getting a little bit of growth, and I started getting comments. "Oh, we like your new beard." So I thought, I better not have a shave. So it's probably because of YouTube. I've grown a beard, you know. So I don't know why, but
that's funny.
Yeah, because I started getting comments, and
not from ladies, or maybe it was from ladies. Sue might get jealous.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so you met Oakstar in the gym 7 years ago, and you and him are pretty thick by the looks of it. You're fishing buddies, pretty good mates.
Yeah, we've grew together over a period of time, you know. So and then I told him, I said, "Hey, Oaks, I'm doing this YouTube thing now," and then he could see we'd never been fishing together, but he's a keen fisherman.
Yeah,
we always talked about it. I always showed him pictures of fish when I was in the gym, and then he watched the videos and he could see what I was doing, where I was going,
Yeah.
So then he became king, you know. So and then I just guess it just led on from there, and he's quite a character.
Yeah, he is.
On the and he loves it. Yeah,
and,
so
and you can see he's getting a lot more confident, you know, with his mug on the GoPro and what have you.
Yeah, because it's interesting, like when I'm with somebody, how they like I never know how they're going to react to the camera, you know, and like most people are pretty good, and then I'll actually start talking to the camera, you know, which is good, you know. So, and Oaks is he's gravitated to that very well, you know. So, yeah. And he plays the part, and he's just starting. He's got a Facebook site now, Oakstar Productions, because when I got to do when I started to do the shirts and everything, and that's another story in itself, because I've actually got no experience at all in designing shirts.
It looks great.
I'm computer illiterate, and I'm also designer illiterate. But I rang Leela because I talked to Pete Davis from Raptor Lures, and I love his shirts, and I know the Staunch Crab shirts are really good shirts. So I said to Pete, "Can you give me Leela's number?" And I thought, I don't know how this is going to take off, or how I'm going to get this going. And so he gave me Leela's number. I texted Leela, and she said, "Yeah, no worries, mate." I texted her a few photos and said, I'd like this and I'd like that. And she sent me, but this all happened in 2 minutes. This all happened in 2 days. Anyway, I was at work actually on a 12-hour shift, and my phone went off, and she sent me a picture of basically of the shirt that you see now, you know, but it was a crocodile that I'd taken the photo with the drone, and we just changed a couple of things, and I actually had to ring Oaks. I said I rang him up and I said, "Mate," I said, because he was being up me about getting it going, you know, you got to get a shirt or something. So I rang him. I said, "Where's your logo, man? You got a logo?" So he texted me this thing that a grade 2 could have drew. Anyway, I shot that straight through to Leela. She came back within 6 hours. She came back with Oakstar Productions, and so he started his Facebook, and he's actually started a YouTube channel, Oakstar Productions. So
I better subscribe then.
Yeah, you better have a look at Oakstar Productions. Yeah.
Hey, so Andy, to finish off, I'm gonna it's like a pop quiz, 5 random questions. So not too much thought goes into it. Well, the first thing it sort of jumps into your head. So a person, it can be famous, it can be not famous. If you could invite a person, male or female, to a barbecue at your place, who would it be?
Mel Gibson.
Oh, good one.
I didn't have time to think.
I like it.
I didn't want to take.
No, I like that, Mel Gibson. And so it doesn't have to be fish. What is your favourite meal? What's your favourite meal? It can be home, it can be down the pub, it can be on the boat.
My favourite meal is my breakfast. And I have it about 100% of the time, unless I'm away somewhere, and I have it on the boat. It's oats, peanut butter,
peanut butter,
chia seed, peanut butter with water, and raisins.
No milk.
No milk, no water.
Wow.
I know we've got to wrap this up, but I found there's a lot of things I cut out of my diet. There's a lot of things that I cut out of my diet for simplicity of going camping. I did Harley rides for 12. Yeah. I'd go for 12 days, wear the same set of clothes, and I could live out of my panniers. So milk was just too hard. So I just went water. Yeah. And for a little while, it takes a little bit to get used to, but once you acquire the taste, it's
that's your favourite meal. You know, you would have thought someone would say like a T-bone steak or a schnitty or something, but no, yours is oats and water. Oh, and don't forget the peanut butter. That's funny.
Yeah, don't forget the peanut butter and the chia seed.
All right. So what's your favourite movie? What's your favourite movie of all time?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to say Maverick.
Which one?
But I wouldn't say it's favourite of all time. Maverick, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Maverick, the latest one.
That latest one's pretty good, isn't it?
It is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I go.
Yeah, but I don't, not big on movies, but
that's right.
I could name 100 of them, but just
All right.
comes to head.
So this is a pretty contentious question to all Territorians. You prefer the wet or the dry?
Wet. Love it.
Wow. Okay. Is that because the fishing's better, or because it's just better with the rain coming down?
It's just everything's green. Everything's green.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's like today. It's outside now. It's raining. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Even though it's windy, but it's beautiful. Like I come from Western Queensland off a cattle property, born and raised, and droughts were not like we were stricken with droughts a lot of the time. So dry season kind of reminds me of a drought.
Yeah.
So I love the dry season because it's nice, cool weather. But my favourite time of year is the wet season.
Yeah, cool.
It's beautiful. Everything's green.
Yeah.
There's water around. Everyone's happy. Like,
you know what? There's not many happy people with build up, is there?
Nah, but I like the build up as well. Build up's good fishing. Build up's the best fishing, easiest fishing. Yeah.
Oh mate, that build up. Yeah. I've worked up there twice, and I say to my wife, my wife's really keen to spend some time up and down when we retire. And I'm saying, no, we ain't going there in the build up. I'll give you the huge tip. But anyway, mate. Okay. So last of the 5 pop quiz questions. What's the favourite place in the Northern Territory? Not necessarily Darwin. What's your favourite place in the NT? Might be Palmer.
Me house.
Oh,
my home.
Your house is your home. Your castle, your house is your home.
We watch castle, mate. Yeah, it's really castle. I don't even have to leave home.
Yeah.
When I've been out fishing for 3 or 4 days, when I get home next day like that, edit takes me all day. Sometimes 24 hours I sit here editing, and I don't even open my front gate. Yeah, I'll take phone calls. The young fella will turn up. I'll get a couple of visits, and I'm welcome to stop just to give my brain a bit of a rest. But I'll just stay here all day long, you know. But I am keen. I will be keen soon to go and do a trip. But I'd have to say me home. It's me castle. I love it. I've owned it since 2004.
You're so authentic.
It's what keeps me. There's 2 things I reckon in life. I say to people, if you got to get 2 things right, you got to love where you live, and you got to have a good job. And they get those 2 things right. If you can love your job, love where you live, then everything else can kind of take care of itself.
No, that's a great philosophy, Andy. Hey, but I can't thank you enough. It was so good to actually speak to you after speaking to you by messenger and by the chat box and all the rest of it. It's really good to meet you face to face, albeit virtually.
Thanks, mate.
Now, listen, I'll be in Darwin end of March.
Yep.
Maybe even the first week of April. So I've got your phone number now. I know where you live.
Yep.
So if you're around, I'll share a bowl of oats with you and maybe a bit of water.
Too easy, mate. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you, mate. Cheers, Paul.
Thanks, Andy. Bye for now.
Cheers,
Bye.
Mate.
Bye.
Good morning, Paul. Just like that, it's 8 a.m. in the Northern Territory. Have a look at this. Soaked overnight. What a beautiful texture. Oh, beautiful. Can't beat it. Cheers, mate. Have a great day. Thanks for yesterday.
So I hope you enjoyed getting to know Carny, a true, authentic Aussie fella. I'm sure you'll agree. Let me know if there's any other content creators you'd like me to reach out to hopefully make a podcast and put up on YouTube. If not, that's okay. If so, let me know. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. We're for now.